All right, guys. I kind of shifted gears again. I was on the 90 model over there and got it over here. Got the oil leak fixed on it today. The oil pan gasket started leaking terribly. I don't know really why. Just all of a sudden started doing it. So anyway, pretty easy fix. Took me maybe an hour. Threw a new oil pan gasket on it, and the oil leak's fixed. So it's sitting over there. Still got to get to Tim's and get the bed for that truck and get the frame and stuff painted on it. Now, I bought this stuff for that truck, but I think I'm going to use it on this truck. Now, I'm sitting here shaking this. I don't know exactly how hard you'd have to shake it, but the guy at the paint store gave it to me, and he said, those tabs are on it for a reason. He said, do not shake that up. He said, stir it with a paint stick and mix it 8-to-1. He said, if you go to shaking that up, it's going to gas and blow the lid off, and there's going to be paint everywhere. And he says that stuff, if you get it on your hands, you got to wear it off. You can't get it off. So I'm going to take his word for it. I'm not going to shake it up, and I'm going to use gloves when I apply it. Now, I was going to use it on that truck, but like I said, where I shifted gears today, I'm going to use it on this truck. This truck had baking soda everywhere, and I pressure washed this thing today for, oh Lord, well over an hour underneath it. Got all the baking soda off of it. I've really been wanting to do that, so I got that done. And so I wanted to go ahead and get the fuel system figured out. I'm going to paint the frame and stuff before I mount that tank. Now, I got to take the tank to Tim. I got to modify it just a little bit to make it work. Now, let me move this box, and I'll show you what I'm doing. Then I'll show you what's in this box. I'm pretty proud of that. This is a S10 tank, square body S10. You can see I've already cut the tank where I'm going to have some clearance. Now, the bed's channeled, so, and I'm going to change that bed a little bit too. We're going to put a piece of plywood in it and put shocks on it so I can raise it up and down and bring my filler neck up here so I can just lock the wood down in the bed when I want to put gas in it, raise it up, put the gas in it. That way I don't have a filler neck anywhere sticking out of the truck. Nothing wrong with that, but anyway, it's just the way I want to do it. You can see I cut that side too quite a bit more. But anyway, this truck, the fuel setup on it is, it's got an inline pump, and it had that aluminum tank over there. Now, the reason I got away from that, well, one reason, you can't put a sending unit in that custom tank. It's not deep enough. So I've went to this tank, and again, I like the pumps to be in the tank. They're a lot more quiet, and they seem to be a lot more reliable. They stay cooler down in that gas, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, I just like the tank, the in-tank pumps. So anyway, that's what we're doing here. I've got the, well, again, let me get back to where I was at. That's a S10 tank. I think I ordered it for a 93 model. This is a sending unit for a 93 model. The reason I like the 93 model on the older style, I think it's a 93. It may be a 91 or two. Anyway, any of the older style has just the push-on ends here, nipples, whatever you want to call them, and you use a clamp. Now, these have bolts. Now, these are Earls, like an AN6. One thing's kind of tight. I can't get them off, but it's just an adapter. It's a metric adapter to cut it down to the AN6 fittings. And then I'll use the push lock hose, and I will run an AC Delco, probably a 90-pound pump on this. This is an older style LS, so it's got the regulator on the fuel rail. This push lock kit I thought was for this setup, but it's not. It's got the Corvette style regulator. Some of y'all don't know what I'm talking about. It's this. You can, mount this thing about anywhere you want. You don't have to have a ridiculously long return line. I could use this, change my fuel rail out, but I'm not going to do that. I kind of like the regulator being on the rail. I'm not a big fan of those. Those are okay if you get a good one. That's a cheap one, and I have had issues with those in the past going bad. So anyway, just redoing the fuel system. Again, nothing wrong with the way they had it. A lot of people run the inline pumps and stuff. I'm just not a fan of them. Most of them are loud. This one was in particularly loud. So we're going to do away with it. It was a Walbro. I can give you the part number on if that's the way you want to go. But it's a little more simple that way. But again, I just like this setup better. And once I get into it and get the tank done, get Tim to fix that, that won't be nothing for him to do. I will kind of walk y'all through that process. So anyway, that's where we're at. I want to get the fuel system fixed. I've got fuel injectors as well. I just ordered a set of low mile stock fuel injectors. Not looking for, you know, a powerhouse here. May put a little cam or something in it later on, but I'm not going to go crazy with the truck. I want to be able to drive this truck. I want to get in it, take off to the rod run, take off to Florida, whatever I want to do. I don't want to jump in it and have to worry about it. So anyway, here's this box. If I can keep from dumping the dang thing out. Give me just a second. So I've been looking for one of these for a while, and it's hard to find them in red. So I've looked and looked and looked, and I finally found one. And just, you know, stayed patient. And this is an original wheel. It's just in really good shape. I believe it's probably been restored at some point. I don't know why anyone would have taken that off of a vehicle, unless maybe it was a wrecked car or something. Who knows? I found it on Marketplace. It was in South Carolina. And I gave him another $100 just to ship it to me, because he didn't really want to fool with shipping. He wanted to sell it local. But it was a 4-hour drive, and very good steering wheel. The splines look good. And again, guys, it's really hard to find a red one. Every red one I found had turned orange. You know, I guess from fading, or maybe they had standard orange steering wheels. I'm not sure. But anyway, so there's my steering wheel. I got a lot of money in that steering wheel, but I still think I got a pretty good deal in it. So got my seat, got my door panels, got my steering wheel, still need carpet. And then of course, Angie's going to do the headliner and some other things. Once I get the truck pretty much done on my part, and then I can take it to her, let her do the finishing touches on the interior. Now it's going to be a while, who knows when, but I can't drive it now because I've already taken the fuel tank off. So it's in here now until I can get the fuel tank or the fuel system fixed, and get the fuel injectors changed, and get the frame painted and the floors and stuff. I also got in there, washed the floors real good. And I may, once I get it up in the air, still take the pressure washer and hit the floors again, and take a wire brush to most of this, make sure it's really good and clean. I want it to look good. If somebody crawls under the truck and wants to look at it, I don't want them looking at gobbed up undercoating and crap like that. So trying to do it somewhat right. I mean, it ain't got to be perfect. It's not going to be a, you know, a showstopper or anything like that. Just something I can get in and drive, and you know, get some attention in it, whatever. So that's where I'm at on it. I will do a quick little update video on my work car. I'm going to attach it to the end of this video. I don't know that anybody's really interested in that, but I know Mr. PIB was, so I'm just going to tie that in for him. Y'all go ahead and cut the video off here if you'd like. Oh, and I'm going to go ahead and adjust my coilovers up, raise the rear end up just a little bit, and I'm going to redo these brake lines. That was probably just a quick little fix, and so I'm going to do that a little different, tie those into these clips here. Anyway, just neat, you kind of tidy things up. Guys, I got to get in the house. It's Sunday. Tomorrow's work time, so I got to get in here and get cleaned up and spend some time with the family. As always, I appreciate you watching, and catch you in the next one. See you later. All right, guys, so here's the little work car. As I told most of y'all before, I had got pretty fortunate and found a entire front clip, same color as the car. My neighbor's dog here at my feet. I don't know what he's doing. But anyway, got it thrown back together good enough. It's an old work cart, doesn't really matter. That nose piece had some scrapes and bruises on it, but again, guys, it doesn't matter. It's just an old work car. Don't really care what it looks like, but you know, you don't really want to look like a, you know, a crazy crackhead running around. So anyway, also there was a guy here locally that had another Rogue that had been flipped. He bought the couple that had it. They were an older couple, and they had paid, I think he said, a little over $5,000 to have the transmission replaced in it, and they put these tires on it at the same time. They're Michelin Defender LTXs, and they put I think $1,100 and something for the tires is what he said. So anyway, they put about 100 miles on the car and flipped it. So I ended up buying wheels, tires, and all for $300. You can't beat that. And this little car was needing tires. Now these Nissans, the CVTs in them, they're kind of notorious for going out really around the kind of miles that's on this car. So I wasn't really wanting to spend a bunch of money on a good set of tires. So the last couple sets I've bought, they've just been old cheap tires off Amazon, you know, like a Chili's or something. Just, it doesn't really matter to me. Again, it's this old car. This was my wife's car. I bought her this new one, and they didn't want to give us anything trade in, so I just kept it, been driving it. And I've hit several deer in this car. I'm absolutely over deer. We have deer everywhere here in East Tennessee. But anyway, it's back together. I'm going to jump in it and go to work tomorrow. I also had to put a seatbelt in it and a new steering wheel. Oh, and the flip car, I bought another steering wheel off it that was in better shape than the one I put in it. So I may change that out later on. Not really no big hurry on it. But anyway, back together. Just wanted to show it to Mr. PIB. I think he just tries to amuse me sometimes. Acts like he's really interested in this stuff. But sorry about that, guys. I got old grinding dust in my throat here. I'm going to go inside, get in the shower, get ready for work tomorrow. We'll see y'all later.